Hello and welcome. My name's Anita and this is my channel where I usually share my knitting and sewing and craftiness. Today is the 1st of February and it's a glorious day here in South Wales. As you can see, the sun is streaming in. I've been for a walk already this morning. I went to visit my mum in the next village. I've come back and I've had some lunch and now I'm ready for a spot of decluttering. And today is the turn of my fabric stash. So let's go and collect all my fabric from the various places, the various locations around the house and get started. So that's everything laid out from under my footstool and the two baskets from under my bed. I need to have a little look through and decide which things that I would likely sew with now and what things I wouldn't. Now I know this is going to sound really wasteful, but there really is no point keeping fabric or anything that you're not going to use. It's far better to give it away and hope that someone else will find a use for it. So in saying that, all of this fabric has now been sorted, and these two huge piles here are the things that are going to be given away. And there's a lot there. Some are whole meters and meters of fabric that I bought online, and that's the trouble, isn't it, buying things online, because once it's cut you can't send it back, and it wasn't how I expected it to be, so that was bought in a sale. That one I washed with another fabric and the fabric ran, so it's a little bit, you can't really see it on the camera, but it's pinky. And yes, I could make something, but you go to the trouble of making something and it's always, I'm always going to know that it's off, the colour's off. And this was green jersey, and it was it's lovely and soft, but it was much thinner than I thought it was going to be. And then there's lots of offcuts from dresses. I made a dress for Jodie out of that when she was expecting Harry. I've made something for the boys out of that. I bought some peach skin fabric this summer, but you can hear that if that was rubbing against it. Oh, if I was wearing that, that would really annoy me. Some bright orange, very thin fabric I bought years and years ago when I was making Josh a bike top, and it was fabric I've been given. And then I've also bought lining fabrics, but they're the nylon-y type, and I know I won't use it, so that's all going to go. This is an old single quilt cover and pillowcase of my daughter's that I didn't want to throw. I didn't want to throw away, and the boys don't want to have a quilt that colour on their bed, but I'm going to keep that. And I think this is a linen mix or a faux linen that I was going to make some nice drapey trousers with. I was going to make some trousers out of those in the summer. That's linen. And then that fabric there was for, I was hoping to make Harry some school trousers, but it wasn't the right grey when it came. It looked different on the website. And that's some black linen, I think, as well, linen mix. I have written them all in my book. I'm hoping I'm going to do a bit of research to find out exactly what I've got and write it up and keep a list. And this, I think, is some viscose, and like I say, and this one I like. I wanted to make a dress. It's navy blue with white spots, but you can, it's so thin that you can actually see the fabric through it. So I might make a loose top or something with that. I think my next video is going to be, or decluttering, is going to be my sewing patterns, and I'm going to pair everything up. So I think that will help me a lot. And these two I bought at the same time, and again, I know they're in my book, but I'm not quite sure what it is, but I know I've got a dress quantity of each. This I bought as a kit from Tilly and the Buttons, and I'm not sure if it's 2.5 meters. I'm not going to use this. I think it's stretch cotton sateen. So in my next proper video where I talk about knitting and my sewing and things like that, I'm going to give that away. So I shall get all the relevant details for it. And then if you're interested, watch that video and you might be in with a chance of winning it. And these are some jersey fabrics. I've made a dress out of this before. It is quite thin, but it would make a nice t-shirt. I like sewing with jersey. I've made a top out of that one, but it was right at the beginning of my sewing journey, and I always used to order way too much fabric, so I've got plenty enough to make another top. And I bought that fabric in Upton, enough to make a dress, so I'm going to have a go with that. I've also made a t-shirt out of that before, and it's quite thin, but I wear that t-shirt quite a lot, so I might make another t-shirt but a different pattern out of that. And this is just some thin grey jersey I made Josh some shorts out of. There's plenty enough to make a t-shirt or contrast sleeves or something like that. Bought this really nice dandelion clock mustard sweatshirting, and I haven't made anything with that, so I'm not sure if I've got enough to make a long sleeve sweatshirt, but if not, I'll need to get some sweatshirting the same weight in black, or black will probably be the easiest to match, and have contrast sleeves or something, so I need to look for a pattern for that. This is ribbing for baby clothes or children's clothes, and I think this is ribbing as well, because I don't think it's just jersey. I'm going to find out, I'm going to look through all my fabric notes and find out what all these things are. Hopefully I've got notes for most things. And my Achilles heel is obviously baby fabrics, because I have small amounts of some of these and larger amounts left, but they're all so pretty and cute. I'm going to keep them all because I like making baby clothes. They're nice and quick and easy, and I'm sure I'll find a use for those, and it doesn't hurt to keep a few things that you don't have any plans for. Bought this fabric in the NEC to make Harry a cushion for his bed, and I haven't got round to it. It's velvety, it's really soft, so I'm going to keep that. And this white fabric is plastic backed so that you can make toiletry bags and makeup bags out of it, so I'm going to keep that. And these are mainly quilting cottons. It's what I bought at the very beginning when I used to just like the patterns, and sewing with cotton when you're learning is a really good idea because it's so stable and it's easy to cut, but it's very stiff when you wear it. So I might give these away. There's a lady I know who might like those, so I'm going to contact her and ask if she'd like me to send her those. And this pile here I'm going to see if Jodie's friends craft group would like it, and if not, it might go to Martin's college, where the students in the art department, they liked having all the yarn off me, so they may want that as well. And over here were things that weren't really meant to be in fabrics boxes, so there are scraps of fabrics, different bits and pieces there. And this was, I was going to make a quilt for Jack, but he's too grown up for Peter Rabbit now, but I still might make it because I enjoy sewing little things like that for children. And these were pajamas, the Dalmatian for when I dressed up one Halloween, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that for anything because I had to buy larger pajamas because I needed the fabric. So they've just sort of sat in with my fabrics, and those are sort of English paper piecing that I was given, and there's some wadding and some curtain liners that I use for when I'm doing English paper piecing, or if I need to line a bag or something. And then this was the cross stitch, huge piece of Ada fabric I was working on during lockdown, and I haven't done any more of that. I have to find somewhere else to put it. So I'm hoping I can get all of this in the 2 boxes that I've got over there, and it will free up my footstool, which is a bit, it's broken at the moment. This bit came off the bottom where I drag it around so much, so I'm going to fix it and fix that back on. And then I've got a spare box for something else. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet. I decided to take a photo of each of the fabrics before I put them away, and then I will have a look to see if I can find out the information on what the fabrics are and how much I bought, and I will put that on the pictures, and I will print that off and have a little record of exactly what fabrics I've got, because once you put them back under the bed you forget what you've got under there, don't you? And that's when you're tempted to go off and buy extra things because you forget what you've already got. I've managed to put everything I'm keeping in this one container apart from the baby fabrics. They're not going to fit in there, but I have this container here that's got my fat quarters and fabric scraps in, so if I go through that next, hopefully I'm going to empty that and keep this just for baby things, and I can maybe put the baby fabrics and wool in here, and whenever I'm asked to make a baby item I can just look in the baby basket. Is it possible to have 2 Achilles heels? Because now I'm thinking baby fabrics and fat quarters and scraps. It's really hard to get rid of scraps and the fat quarters because they're cute. And I'm thinking I could make project bags, but I don't. Or I make the odd one. Could make toiletry bags and makeup bags with the lining fabric. A couple of presents maybe. Maybe I could keep some for that. I'm going to have to be really strict, I think. And I think perhaps I'll do another bundle of fabric quarters if anyone's interested, and keep those and do those as a giveaway at a later point as well. Every sort out seems hard in some way or another. This has got to have been the hardest part. The fat quarters and the fabric scraps. I didn't realise this would be so difficult, but I like so many crafts that use scrap fabrics. But I've sorted it now anyway, and I shall go through everything. These fat quarters here, and this one is more than a fat quarter, is going to be a giveaway at the end of this video. So I'll have to think of a question or something that you can leave in the comments for that. And these fat quarters are more Christmassy based, so I am going to keep those as a giveaway nearer Christmas. And then there's some canvas at the back here where I made my friend a hat out of her rugby shorts, and that's the leftovers, but I don't think I'll need it for anything else. And they're some fabric samples for curtains, so they can go in the giveaway, be given away, not the giveaway. And this little piece of linen here, I've got a project I want to do that I might use that in, and I found a piece of felt, so that will go in my felt box. Yes, I like felting or making things with felt. All these scraps here, so my Christmas dress and these things underneath, aren't really enough for anything, so they're going to be given away. These here I'm going to make into project bags. I have already cut these ones out, and there's some fabric here that you can't see, it's cream with a very small white dot, so that would be good as a lining for that. This one here I'm going to pair with that, and this one I'm going to make a project bag and pair it with that. And if I make anything for Martin, I'm going to put it in there because he's a scientist, so he'll appreciate that one. I made him a face mask out of that during lockdown, so I've got quite a bit of that left. And with these I made some potato sacks and onion bags, so I've got some of those left. And my potato bag I soaked in a bit of bleach because it had gone a bit funny inside, and the colours obviously come out of it, so I might make myself a new one of those. I love this print on here, but it's not a full fat quarter, so I'm going to use that in EPP, English paper piecing, along with all these. I think they will look nice, very pretty in those. Look how pretty these are. And then I've got this cushion front. Well, I'm going to use it as a panel, but I'm going to use it as a cushion front. I bought in the NEC several years ago, and I'm going to pair that with this bright pink fat quarter that my sister-in-law sent me from America, Joann's. I want to go to America and go to Joann's. I thought that would look quite nice because it sort of matches his scarf as the backing, so that's going to be a Christmas cushion. And I'm going to do a sort of border around this little panel and with this green fabric, and I've got enough to put a back on there for another Christmas cushion. So I didn't really get rid of a lot. There's the scraps are going, and there's some things over there going because they're going to be given away, but that was hard.
that's another area of my crafty life, organised. Here it is. I do have more than that because I have some English paper piecing and some quilting and other things that were in the boxes that weren't fabric related. It was mainly really my dressmaking fabrics and my fat quarters that I sorted. So there is mess elsewhere that hasn't gone back in the boxes that I will have to find places for. But for today, I'm happy with this progress. And if you would like to win the fat quarters, these here, please just leave a comment that says fat quarters, very original, and I will do a lucky dip and someone can win them and put them in their own projects. Thanks for watching. My next video will probably be a normal catch-up video of what I've been crafting on. I haven't been doing much the last week because it's been quite busy in work, so I've been quite tired coming home. But nevertheless, I shall share what I've been working on. I'm not sure when I'll do that video. I might do it tomorrow or over the weekend or maybe next week. So if you want to watch and you don't want to miss any, please subscribe. That would be great, and give me a thumbs up. And I shall see you next time. Bye.